Alright, hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the House of Spiders, the middle apprentice, Ishmael. This character is fundamentally a middle character, so if you have any of the previous middle characters, you roughly know what they are going to do already, but she does have some different applications of it. I think it's because she was raised by the nurse father, which was definitely not the same as having a middle actual big brother to go and raise them. Right? For this character, she actually uses weapons, and her passive is going to be this thermal weapon over here. She is considered an ID that can inflict both burn and bleed, and her thermal blades makes her skills inflict bleed also considered as skills that inflict both burn and bleed. This is important for ego gifts and for passives when you want to support her into these kinds of burn and bleeding team comps over here. Right? The middle never forgets is the passive that you would definitely know of if you ever use like middle Sinclair or middle Mersault or any of the other middles, right? Because these characters basically, as long as someone punches an ally a lot, then we mark them with vengeance. We must claim our vengeance upon them, just like how the middle is supposed to be getting revenge against people that slighted them, right? Every time this unit is hit by an enemy, you gain the middle grudge. Another ally, as long as they're in the middle, is hit, then you must also gain a grudge. If the ally gets hit or you get hit by vengeance mark enemy, then you also gain more middle grudge. And if you did get NVA resonance, then you get even more grudge. So the grudge gets bigger the more of the middle they are. So you want to form the brotherhood of the middle to get the most value out of this thing over here. The passive itself does not scale off stacks. Even one stack will give you 20% damage. But the reason you want this grudge over here is because you want to get your augmentation tattoos to give yourself more final power and to buff your skills notably. This is the most important part, to give you a 50% damage multiplier every time this unit consumes, every time you get one of these stacks over here, right? You want to hunt down these middle style augmentation tattoos. So you want to keep eating the grudge, you want to keep getting grudges against your enemies, because that's just how the character power scales herself, right? She just needs to keep fulfilling and settling the grudges that people have set onto her, right? Combat start, if this unit does not have any thermal blades and you're at 3+ envy resonance, you will gain 2 thermal blades next turn. So basically, just by getting your brotherhood together, you will permanently have thermal blades out at all times, which is very, very easy, right? They made the passive part of getting your very important status very, very easy nowadays, right? Beforehand, the Heishos, they had to use their defense skill to activate their transformation so they can become Strider, then they can get bonuses to their effects. While the new characters nowadays, they just kind of have their team comps, then they just have a passive link together, then they get a passive by default. So that's what this character does over here, right? Similar to Ujat Otis, for example. Moving on to skill 1. Totally badass ass kicking. I want to point out that because it's a badass ass kicking, she's getting 5 SP on use, which I think is very cute. Right? Coin power +1, deal 2 bleed, deal 5 blunt bonus damage, and if you have the middle style augmentation tattoos, you will inflict +1 bleed count. You only need 1 to get the +1 bleed count. Right? After that, we have skill 2, your crossing dervish. This is basically offense level increase, aggro gain, so you can get punched by people, so you can get more vengeance, and also you can, as you can see here, with your thermal blades out in your hands, you will be able to basically make your burn scale based on the bleed over here. So you can have 2 burn plus 2 burn, 2 burn plus 2 bleed. Yeah. Deal 5 bonus blunt damage, and if you do have the middle style augmentation tattoos, you can inflict 1 paralyze and 1 bind next turn also, right? So like I said, this character scales off of the middle gang. You want to get these augmentation tattoos, you want to follow this passive over here. It's like the index. You must follow what the finger wants to do. The index must follow whatever the index tells them to do, while this one, the middle, does whatever the middle is supposed to do, which is take vengeance against their targets. So whatever the target is vengeancing on you, you must go and vengeance him back so you can farm your stacks, so you can get all of your stats, right? Skill 3 is going to be your bread and butter, aka you're going to spam the shit out of this, right? What this skill does is that you get coin power +1, you get offense level, A resonance gives you more offense level, thermal blades passive is here also, final power for every grudge on yourself, eat all of the grudge so you can get your tattoos, and if the skill was activated as a counter skill, you will gain 1 blunt damage up next turn, 2 bleed count, and envy resonance times 5% / bonus damage, right? So as you can see here, counter skill, you are supposed to spam this skill. I'll get you back for this man at 6+ sum of NVA resonance. Use Violet Breaking Slam as a counter, you can activate it twice per turn, and you actually gain a 25% missing health shield, which helps a lot in terms of tanking certain enemy attacks, so you can do your big nuke with your skill 3 to your enemies, right? So this character, you probably don't want to play her like an Unga Booga character. You probably want to play her more like purple spam character, right? Play her like Candy Crush purple gaming. You literally match 6 purples, you get Violet Breaking Slam. You give her 2 actions, she activates it twice. You want to get hit a lot When people hit you, you get vengeance. So you want to get punched a lot. And you get a shield based on your missing HP. So if you drop yourself to 50% HP, just accept it. You will basically be able to stay very, very alive for a very long time. If you are worried that you're going to die because you're too low, then pump yourself with a little bit more healing egos to just keep yourself alive. Right, so for the NV team, you basically want to shove in as many middles as possible, and we still need to wait for probably a few more big brothers and great brothers to come and fill up our rosters. Then we will basically run a team of middle little brother, middle big brother, middle great brother, middle apprentice, middle little sister, whatever. Right, we just combine all of them, and then we'll have a 6-person team, and then boom, we will slam our skill trees at our enemies, and we'll all play the Vengeance Mark mechanic, and we all do crazy amounts of blunt damage, right? And of course, I'm expecting the middle, the Great Brothers and the Big Brothers to give more major buffs to these kinds of IDs over here, so that those IDs will be able to get even greater benefits by punching the people that the Great Brother tells them to go and punch. Right, so yeah, that's pretty much the logic for this unit over here. Thanks guys for watching. There's not much else to say for this character. I would say you can probably skip pulling for her and just wait until the Big Brother or the Great Brother appears, and then finally we have the full piece of all the 6 NVA resonance, and then we can go and run them all together, and then we can do the crazy 6 purple gaming punch. That would be quite fun, I think. Right, yeah, so that's pretty much it guys. Thanks for watching. I shall see you guys next time. Bye bye.